good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How's it going, Francois, Alan? I know there's lots of people that don't chat. If you're having a problem chatting, remember, you got to subscribe and try using the YouTube app. I've tried to help a few people. Seems that iPhones, for whatever reason, have some sort of issue. Try a different browser. Lots of suggestions. I don't know. Make sure you're logged into YouTube because you have to subscribe and you have to be in a YouTube account. So, anyway, there is a super chat. If you want me to pay particular attention to something, you can click the little dollar bill thing that looks like a little dollar sign with a bill and super chat me, and I will stop and pay attention to what you got. Now, we're coming up at 5 p.m. today. I take your request for at least 30 minutes, and for 30 minutes of awesome. So that is happening later today, 5 p.m. Eastern. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, everybody. So let's go ahead and throw this up. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. I may be full of crap. This presentation here, intended to be informational, educational, and fun, is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire that personal financial advice, hire, consult a financial advisor. Hopefully, we all know this game of trading is dangerous, rough. Playing against some of the smartest, fastest minds in the world, and it's dangerous. Yeah. So anyway, S&P 500 on the breakout here, very, very close. Got Ethereum alert. I was going to talk about that. That's on the Morning Monsters list. So working on the breakout right here. We do have a little bit of resistance right there where those highs were. And then we're on the path to 4,300. Finally, I've been calling for this for, gosh darn near forever, it seems like. And we're getting there. Hey, Andreas, good morning. Morning, Valerie. Morning, everybody. I'm trying to keep my eye on the chat. So just bear with me if I don't mention you. Anyway, right in the yellow zone from where we topped back here in February. This is very exciting for me. Hopefully it's exciting for you. Hopefully you're not caught on the wrong side expecting us to go down the toilet like the mainstream media has been calling for months. But we got some stuff to talk about today. So let me pull over a couple articles. We'll talk about them. First off, King Kong of weight loss drugs. LLY keeps showing up. That's Lilly. They have this drug. For whatever reason, it doesn't think I'm signed in. Anyway, they're competing with Ozempic. It's Mounjaro. I keep wanting to say it like Majora's Mask, like Legend of Zelda. But Mounjaro coming out. I guess it's out for diabetes 2 patients, but they're trying to get it approved for obesity. And so far in trials, you can just kind of see the faded out thing there since I'm not logged in for whatever reason. And I'm not throwing up my login information right now. But 230-pound person, overweight. I'm not quite there myself. I'm only 200 pounds. But they were able to lose 50 pounds during a 17-month trial period. That's pretty significant. So this drug approval for treating obesity, potentially getting approval, FDA approval in April. This can create Lilly. This is like a fundamental story that can create Lilly, a fundamental technical pattern. When we look at the chart here in a minute, Lilly can like turbocharge higher with this. They're expecting this to be like a $22 billion market. So, and this drug is going to be on pace to be under the drug patent for a number of years, so they can carry this out. And they have another modification that they have in the works that was also in the story that could extend this out even further. It may not be on the market till 2026, which would give them years longer. Apparently, this Mounjaro is probably going to be under patent till 2036, and if they get that other drug out there and it's successful, and it comes out in 2026, that just extends their ability to profit off of this. So they've had a cultural shift in their company. This article talks about it. If you want to go check it out. I'll drop a link to a free version of it in Discord for everybody here after a while. Squeeze 2.0 coming up on Big Tech. Imagine this seasonality potentially kicking in. One of the most bullish months on Nasdaq, potentially. And this is futures, not just Nasdaq index right here. So we could see a nice strong rally in Nasdaq. CTAs are going to have to flip. They are quite bearish right now, and they are going to be FOMOing into longs, even though computers aren't supposed to have FOMO. The people that control them do, and hedge funds can start reversing very, very quickly and create a squeeze. And you may think we're already in a squeeze, but we haven't seen nothing yet, baby. So one of the things when you have underperformance, you've got to catch up. So if the market's going up, we got to catch it. Yeah. SPX breaking out of the wedge and the downtrend, looking very positive here the last few days. We're at the, I think it's the 8-month high on S&P futures this morning. Nasdaq, do they go long for the next leg? Obviously, all the things I've been talking about. And then will we overshoot? Will we get overly happy to the upside? Possible. And that's what we kind of count on. So there will be a massive pullback. I don't know if it happens at 4,300 SPX or 4,500 SPX. We're going to see. Stay tuned. Keep coming back. I'll keep you updated. Big news coming out today. 2:15. This can be a market mover. Be aware. Trump's arraignment hearing set to begin at 2:15. The charges are still sealed. We don't know what's going on, but Trump's already got a big plan to dismiss and a whole set of motions. They have a host of motions that they're going to make, including a motion to dismiss based on selective prosecution and prosecutorial misconduct. So they've got a game plan in place, and that can be a market mover. All right. Be aware. Don't be caught unaware of what's happening today. So, yeah, bummer for gym membership. Yeah, that's funny, Jason. Morning, George. Let's see. Pop it over to the calendar. Excuse me. Something get me a little bit this morning. Let's pop up the. I say a lot this morning. Trying not to. Looking at April 4th, we got the JOLTS jobs coming up at 10. So about 40 minutes from now. That one can move the market. So be aware. 10 o'clock. JOLTS jobs. And relatively benign the rest of the day for the U.S. financial news. We got U.S. FOMC member Cook speaking at 1:30. Of course, we've got the 2:15 p.m. Trump whatever arraignment happening. Whatever's going to happen there. Be careful. There can be some chaos. New York City's on totally preparing. I mean, they've got all hands on deck. All the police are supposed to be on duty. Whatever. So, New York City expecting some kind of chaos, whether that's manufactured chaos or whatever. It'll play out later today. Tomorrow we have non-farm employment change (ADP), and then we have ISM PMI, and then Thursday, get my tongue tied. We have unemployment claims, and then Friday we have average hourly earnings, non-farm payrolls, and unemployment rate. So we've got a few economic newses trickling out, nothing super major. We do have the CPI coming up here I don't remember if it's next week or the week after. Let's see. Yes, next week. So next Wednesday, CPI coming out. Remember, that's going to be a major mover right there. All right. So next Wednesday, big show for CPI print. And then we have PPI coming up on the Thursday. So next week, big numbers. All right. So market just keeps drifting higher this week. DGS2, the interest rates just kind of chugging in here and pop down to the daily. We're seeing it roll over just a little bit yesterday, but just kind of hanging in right on the blue line that I drew back in January. It's kind of funny there. And the Fed rate, target rate, still way up here, about a full point above the actual market rate. All right. LLY, pull up Lily. Look at this baby. And she's stacked to go, primed to go. This was a beautiful retrace right to support. Prime to go. 392, 415 on the upside are my targets right now. And if we really got excited and extended, up around 450. And like I said, this one could have bigger staying power for a longer term trend. Pop up the weekly chart here. I mean, this sucker just has been going and going for quite a while. We consolidated back here from about 2015 through 2018, and now we've just kind of been on a monster run here with these potential weight loss drugs coming out, and talking billions of dollars a year profit. This thing can just keep on a monster run. We'll probably get little pullbacks along the way like we've had for the last several years, but sky's the limit right here on Lilly. So could be a good long-term position if you don't have any exposure to this. Certainly the short-term duration exposure, 392, 415 on the upside, potentially up to 357 or even some of these higher targets. But if you've been with me long, this fib ladder, the higher we climb, the more likely it is we are to retrace back to a support level. So typically we'd see the 1272 or 1618 and then retrace back to this breakout right here at 375, 357, 375. All right, we did do a nice deep retrace here down to a support level where we consolidated back here in August of last year. Then we've ramped up quickly, looking like we're adding more today. So that one definitely looking pretty positive here. Definitely. All right, looking on through futures, trying to break above that key level I was talking about yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before. When I drew this line across the highs, we break it above that, probably 4,300 in the target, in the sights. We are pushing the top of the channel this morning, and we could break out. We could break to a higher channel, which would be very bullish for the market. NQ, nice. We're well on the way to coming up here to test this 13,800 area, where we topped out back here in August. This one is leading the market right now. We're ahead in Nasdaq. ES kind of lagging a little bit, probably on the back of the banks. And then Russell still kind of farting around at the bottom. Was able to break out of the consolidation yesterday, but stuck below this line where it's kind of in a support resistance flip point. If we can break above that, get above the roadmap line here, we can see a quick, a very quick ascent, catch up type deal. Whether that money's flowing into banks or other places, we can see a very, very quick catch up in the small caps. Just keep that in mind. Now, small caps do not have to. It's just one of those opportunities that's sitting out here that the market could, money could flow into those smaller caps to catch up since they're lagging. All right. Oil, still kind of working on getting through this roadmap line above these highs right here. The high from December, the high from, January, on into almost February right there. I guess late January. Breaking above those highs right there, that resistance. I have an alert right there. That's going to be my signal that we're potentially going to make a bigger move higher. And we don't have any kind of pullback to do projections off of, so this doesn't really mean anything right now. I was speculating that we could see a pullback. That hasn't happened, and if we just break on out, that's not likely to happen. At some point we will, just like we did on GC1 on gold. This is like the same move right here. You see what happened on gold? And then we retraced. One big move up, retrace, and then working on the extension. And it's finding resistance at that 1272 there. So if we can finally break through, we could get up to 1618 on gold at 2075. So flipping back over to oil, same sort of situation. So we'll probably rally up here, maybe somewhere around these prior highs, maybe as high as 90, where we consolidated right here, and then probably retrace to the roadmap line, which we don't know where the roadmap line is going to be, but if we do that, it's probably somewhere out like this. Let's remove these arrows. That was, we could still do that. We could still retrace. But right now, looking like we're probably going to rally up here. These fib lines don't mean anything right now. top out somewhere up in this area around 90. Maybe retrace like this before the bigger breakout. And right now it's looking like we could get back up into the 130 area and possibly extend out to 150 like I was talking about before after we got this retrace. When we do this right here, see that 147.92? That can be the next extension higher, 1272 of this pullback that we had from March 22 through March 23. A 1 year pullback in oil and then popping out. All right, stay tuned. I'll keep you updated abreast on what I'm seeing. But that's, I'm thinking that oil is probably going to head out to that 147 area. Big term, big picture. That could be, we could see it fast. I mean, it could do one of these moves, but it could take a bit longer and could be late 24, even into mid 24 before we get up to that kind of level. All right. Keep in mind, MTDR showing a little move. Looks like the market just opened a minute ago. Getting a little pop. This one probably going to try to rally up to the roadmap line. Went a little deeper on the retrace here, or the retrace, yeah. And this makes a nice potential. This was a 1, 2, 3 with a 1272 extension on the third leg there. And if we run the fib, oh, that's cool. Thanks, Google. Throw an alert. That's probably a long entry for Google. So somewhere around above 62 here. Kind of signals we'll probably see 82 or 93. Let's go pop over to Google real quick. Yeah, looking pretty positive. That's going to be a breakout and probably a rally up to about the 122 area on Google. I'm probably going to be shopping for a synthetic position out to 2025 on Google. I was going to do it back here, but I just procrastinated on doing it. Now, looking pretty good. We may see this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top out right here when we get another retrace. So just keep it in mind that we may top out somewhere like that. And let me remove this one. We could top out right around here in Google and then get a retrace back like this before the bigger breakout. And that kind of fits with Nasdaq potentially topping out right here and getting a retrace. Yeah, we didn't do this one. Just kind of bounced off the bottom and then charged up. So we could find some resistance here, pull back to the roadmap line. And we could see that play out in Google right there. All right, moving on down the list, VTNR, working on the breakout. This is already the conservative entry for 12 or 13 on the upper side. ETSY, trying to break back above the roadmap line. We get it back above the roadmap line, and this one can work on extending out to 63 or 180, 163 to 180. And right now, looks like it may retrace that little pop-up today. EXR, extra space storage, just chopping in the zone here. And for whatever reason, my roadmap line not loading. That's cool. Always love that. Just spinning, whatever. All right. BFG, Bullfrog, not much to this one, but looks like it's going to break out higher here. We already did the corrective move down to a lower low than the, I guess, IPO maybe. Doesn't have the little dinosaur, so I assume that's an IPO breaking out higher. That's, I don't have a lot of data to work with, but be careful. May retrace here that off that corrective move, 1, 2, 3 down. That's a 1618 extension, but it can just get froggy and go higher. So 10, 11, 14 on the upside. Not sure. That one could just rip and not make sense. Gush showing a little pop on the oil and gas being up 2x, still below the roadmap line. Be careful on a lot of these leverage things. 20-year treasury, 3x bear, continuing to drop. Let's see what TLT's up to. Yeah, stuck at the roadmap line. And TBT, just looking like it might break down possibly. SE showing some nice strength here. Potentially going to top out at 94.50. Continue the path right up here. I should fix my arrow. I don't like those dark arrows. Potentially topping out around 94.50. And let's see, one more little fib line right here. Yeah. A little bit of confluence right there around 93, 94. Then it'll probably roll back over. Twilio. Working on breaking out. This one can get above. Look. See all that junk across there? If we get above that, above 78, looks good for Twilio. Lose money though. Caution. I was playing with Twilio's API, trying to add SMS alerts to my Discord bot, so you could, my bot piece of software can send SMS alerts on top of the, scrape my messages from Discord and send them out as SMSs. I was working on something like that. We may just use Zapier to do it. I don't know. We're playing with it a little bit. Coin showing a little bit of a positive. I mean, not much. It did show up on the scanner, but that's not a huge pop. And we'll talk about some crypto stuff here in just a minute. Wolf continuing down. Several of these are down. AYI dropping. Be careful. It can break lower right there. Noggin looks like continuing to be horrible. These are why I warn you, when we're below the roadmap line and continue to be below the roadmap line, these things can just keep on going. Zero is where they can go. Companies can go out of business. BA working on breaking out higher. 242 would be the next move higher on that, even though it was getting a little pullback off that resistance. If it can break higher than these highs that it's had the last, let's see, February, March, and the last couple months, and even back to January. So if it can break out over those highs, get an extension up here to 242. YNN, 3x bullish, China, whatever. That's a bearish chart. They're breaking up BABA. And Baidu still working on breaking out. Hadn't been able to do it. So just keep it in mind. AMC still looks lower. We got down almost to the target there, even though it did extra bounce. Looks pretty bad, honestly. GFAI, that one looks like Guard Force AI company. No idea. They break out over here, they could start turning up. Looks like they did the reverse split, 40 for 1, which is bearish ultimately. So be careful. That doesn't mean it won't rally, but it does tend to lead to lower lows, which we've already seen right here after the split. And this can keep on going down. There's some reason why they went so low that they had to do a 40 for 1 reverse split. And that reason is probably they lose a lot of money and they're a crap company. So be careful on that one. TTE. Nice little pop there. Opportunity to retrace that. Total Energies, integrated oil. So obviously popping on some oil exposure. If we look at, that was a classic roadmap type bounce right there. 67, 70 on the upside if it can break out. Now, things I want to talk about. Doge. If you haven't been to Twitter yesterday, I don't know if it's still there. Let's go check it out. TWI, Let's probably try to load mine, whatever. Let me pull it up on another. Yeah, try to load my account. Let's see. There we go. See this right here? That's the Doge icon instead of the Twitter icon right up there. So Elon Musk sticking it in the face of the judge, I guess. That was kind of news. Yeah. Why did Elon Musk change the Twitter logo to the Dogecoin right there? He was wrapping up a case where somebody, I guess, sued, alleging he was trying to pump and dump Dogecoin with Twitter. I mean, that seems like an incredibly elaborate pump and dump if you're buying a whole company worth billions of dollars and losing money to try to do a pump and dump. So I don't know if the judge dismissed it or whatever, but when that judge made a ruling, he flipped not one for internet, to miss an opportunity for a good internet joke. He put the Doge icon as the Twitter, in place of Twitter icon. So that has sparked a massive rally in Dogecoin as a result. I mean, pump and dump, right? The last time he was talking about Doge back here, now pumping on Doge again. We'll see what happens on this one. It does have resistance right there at the prior highs. Coming across, we have not quite gotten there yet. And above that, we have this high from back here in October, right up here. So we've got some layered resistance above us. Now, one thing that it is kind of taking advantage of this is Ethereum trying to break out here. And in fact, it is breaking out. If it doesn't just get slammed back down, probably going to rally up to this, say, 1950 to 2000 area. It has a complex pattern that's kind of filling out here. Could break out higher. It does have a bigger head and shoulders type pattern that plays out. I got to pull up a different Ethereum chart. See if I got it drawn on here. Yeah, has a bigger head and shoulders pattern that can play out, and it's sloppy on this chart. Plays out somewhere in the mid 3,000 to 4,000 area from where we broke out here. So that would be interesting. We saw a big rally in Ethereum. Mora also, Bitcoin trying to break out, Mora trying to break out, and it has another head and shoulders pattern. This one playing out at the minimum around 15, but more ideally up here around 30. So that looks pretty strong too. And Beto just continuing to chug up to the pattern, up to the target, up here around 20. And I guess I should just go ahead and pull up Bitcoin, still consolidating the box. If it can break out, that one probably on a path up here to 33 at least. I thought we'd get to 29. That was the head and shoulders playing out around 29 that I was charting. And we stopped right there, and we've stopped there for days and days now. If we can break out here, possibly up to this 40,000 area. And that, when we get to the mid 30,000s, up somewhere up around 35,000, that's where a lot of crypto miners start making money again. And, watch out. So Musk messing with the whole cryptoverse, essentially, and can create a breakout in all sorts of cryptos. So, yeah, Musk has the power to F with the whole world. It's kind of funny. Anyway, I appreciate his humor sometimes. So, all right, everybody. That's kind of the morning monster. Be careful out there. My bias for the day, still up till we get to the resistance. We are coming up into this resistance. Watch out for a pullback. We could get one. We don't have to. We can just push right on up through and be on the path to 4,300. We haven't seen a volatile pullback since back here. This is like several bullish days in a row. 1, 2, kind of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like 8 bullish days in a row. We haven't seen a big pullback. So be careful. That Trump news could be the reason we pull back. I mean, the market looks for reasons. Mainstream media looks for reasons. So we are getting extended here. We're right up to the resistance. The Trump news, whatever happens this afternoon, may be the reason we get a pullback. So please be careful. But it could be the reason we just turbocharge out to 4,300 too. All right. Yeah, thanks, Patrick. All right. Catch you on Discord. If you're not in Discord, links in the description. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Going live at 5 p.m. for 30 minutes of awesome. I'll cover all all your chart requests for at least 30 minutes. Come back and see me. We'll have a good time. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you later.